Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel, or maybe welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. It's great to see you there. So today, what are we up to? Well, it's the 1st of April, but this is no April Fool's joke. Well, maybe it is, you never know. Today I'm going to go in search of one of Devon's almost secret beaches. Now, we've lived in South Devon now for nearly 8 years, and for most of that time there's been one beach that I've always seen on the map that has always intrigued me. Why has it intrigued me? Because it's been a beach that you could never get to. The reason for that is because the steps leading to the beach, because of a landslip some years ago, were basically trashed, and you just couldn't get down there without scrambling down rocks or maybe getting there by boat. But they've now been repaired over the last year or two, and today we're going to go in search of a beach that still, I think, a lot of people around the Torbay area don't know about. And on the way there may be a little bit of history, and after that, well, maybe Devon's very own version of Jurassic Park. Let's see how we get on. Come on, let's go. So this is where we are. Welcome to Watcombe. We've got a secret beach here, and also a very, very special bit of woodland. We're going to do the woodland a little bit later on, but first of all, let's see if we can find the beach. And first of all, straight out of the car park, you come to this building, formerly known as Trinity House. It was built in 1851 for a sea captain. It's now known as Watcombe Hall, and it's been used for many different things over the years, including a care facility. It was in the news for all the wrong reasons a few years ago, which I won't go into on this video, but Google it if you like. Nowadays it's been transformed, I think, into 8 different luxury properties. A very peaceful, very nice place to live here at Watcombe Hall. So we're going to head off down the lane here. There's 1 or 2 rather pretty houses on the way, and then after we've seen this maybe not so secret beach, we're going to head off back through the woodlands and come back through the Valley of the Rocks. Some very grand houses as you walk down towards the beach here. Looks like that one's been divided into flats. You can actually buy one of those if you like, if you want somewhere a little bit different, but we're heading off down here first. Yeah, so basically what happened at this beach some years ago is there was a bit of a landslip. A lot of the cliffs around this part of Devon are made of sandstone, so they're very subject to landslips and cliff falls and that sort of thing. It's happening all the time around the Devon coast, and one of those several years ago took out the steps that take you down to the beach, and so the county council closed off the beach. They said it wasn't safe to get there, which is the case with quite a few small coves and beaches around this part of England. So over the last couple of years though, they've reinstated the steps, they've made it safe again, and now you can get there again. I think still a lot of people don't know about it, so let's go and have a look and see if we can find our way down to Watcombe Beach. It is a very windy day here. It's sunny, it's nice, 1st of April, but it is very, very blowy, so apologies in advance if there's any wind noise on the microphone, but let's go and have a look. Yeah, I think the closer we get to the coast, I think the windier it's going to get. And the tide is also high right now, so I think it's going to be a bit blowy and a bit wild down there. But we're approaching the top of the stairs in just a few minutes' time. Looks like there's an old beach cafe or maybe a set of toilets on the right-hand side as we come down. And on the left-hand side, the path up to the woods, we'll take a look up there later on. The woodland up there is absolutely amazing, but we'll find that in a few minutes' time. Well, it looks like it's an old toilet block, but if you're going to have a disused toilet block, well, you may as well make it colourful. And look at that, isn't it lovely actually? It's a shame they can't use the building for something. Maybe when the season comes around again, maybe they'll give it some sense of purpose. So this is where the landslip occurred a few years ago, and you just couldn't get down here. As you can see, it's very steep, so without the steps it would be nigh on impossible to get down to the cove. But here are the new steps that they've put in. I don't think there's much of the beach apparent at the moment because the tide is right up, but let's go and have a look, and let's go and get as far as we can anyway. It looks like there is some sort of building down there, maybe an old disused cafe or something. And actually, you know, along this coast there's lots of little coves like this, and most of them have got some sort of little cafe. Most of them just open through the summer months, but there's very nice cafes at Ansteys Cove, Maidencombe Beach, which is the next bay just along, and 1 or 2 others as well. And they're tucked away normally down these steep paths, so you don't always get a lot of people going there, but they're all lovely. Well, it looks like this was once a popular cafe, but I suppose when they had the landslip that was the end of business for that, and even despite the fact they've now reopened the steps to the beach. Doesn't look like the cafe has had anything done to it, but maybe one day, maybe somebody will take it on again, because as I was just saying, the other cafes in this area in the summer do a very nice business. Looks like they've actually had a fire there as well. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So a lot of work needed, but maybe one day somebody will do something with it. So here we are. This is Watcombe Cove, Watcombe Beach. And there is a beach here, but as you can see, the tide is right up, and you can see there on the left-hand side the remains of the old steps that came down in the landslip. You can see why they couldn't use them anymore. Just a little bit of beach showing. You can see just from this little bit here that it's a nice sandy beach. The tide's right up though, so there's not going to be much walking on the beach today, but you can see it's lovely, isn't it? Imagine this on a nice summer's day. Bring a picnic down here, away from all the crowds, and it's just going to be nice and peaceful. And you know, this part of the Devon coast, especially around Torbay and South Devon, is just full of hidden little places like this. There's quite a lot of little beaches down around the Brixham area as well. They get very few visitors, mainly because it's not that easy to get to them by car. There's some big waves coming in here. Woo! I think I better make a run for it. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? Yep, it got me. I now have soaking wet feet. I only got myself to blame. And even on a cold, windy 1st of April, well, it's not that cold actually, but I've been joined by some of the dog walkers and things like that, which is nice, so other people are discovering this beach. And you can just imagine how lovely it would be down here on a summer's day. Bring your picnic. Of course, the sand will probably be many times more than it is there now at the moment, and it'd be a really nice place to escape the crowds and come and have a picnic as well. So at this point you've got to look out very carefully. I was just talking to one of the chaps who's come down here with the dog, and he said there's 3 seals out here in the bay, and they keep popping their heads up and then disappearing beneath the waves, and then you can't see them again for another minute, and then they'll reappear somewhere else. So have a look. Can you see any seals? It's a bit rough really, isn't it? No, I think they're eluding us. Oh, yes, there is one. Yeah, I've just spotted him. Just underneath the headland, where the green is there, and he was just sticking his head up. He's still there at the moment. I don't know if the GoPro will pick it up, but there he is. Shiny little head. Just left of centre on the picture below the cliffs, if you can see him. Trouble is, there's some other bits and pieces floating around in the sea. He's just gone under again now. So that's Watcombe Cove. It's lovely actually, isn't it? Despite the disused cafe, I think that's really nice. So we're going to head back up the steps, and we're going to go and explore the historic woodland. Well, that was quite a climb. Out of breath now, but still more of a hill to climb, and then we're going to head off right, which is part of the Southwest Coast Path. You can see the Southwest Coast Path also going off to the left just here and up those steps. But we're going to head off right and into the woods. Here we go. Looks very enticing. More climbing to do. Look how steep the valley is. Tell you what, you wouldn't have come up here if you've had too much to drink. If you fell down there, you'd be a goner, that's for sure. And I can still hear the sea down at the cove roaring away. So I've come to a junction. Do I take that one, or shall I take that one? Well, I think the wider path on the left heads us back in the direction of where I'm parked. So we're not ready to finish yet, are we? Of course we're not. No. Let's go and have a look down here. I think this should take us towards the cliff tops. Oh no, another junction. Right, left, right, left. I can't decide. I'm a Gemini. Right, let's go right. Looks like I've reached the end of the road on this path, but look, some people have been having a fire here. Right in the middle of the woods. Is that a good idea? Anyway, just before we turn back, let's have a look and see what sort of view we get here, making sure not to trip over that big tree. And I think we should get a nice view from the top here. Oh yeah, looking right over there towards Hope's Nose, you can see the Orstone, that's the little island in the distance, and then just down below us Watcombe Cove again. And as we come over the hill, just look at this, into a valley, and this is what they call the Valley of the Rocks. Now the left, I think, will take us back towards the car, but we're going to go that way. Yep, definitely this way. We're not going to go all the way to Maidencombe though, but we're going to go a little way and then eventually return back through the very historic woodland. It's ancient woodland here, it's really, really lovely. Yeah, we're on the right path, but oh, more steps. Okay, we can do it, come on. Fancy a swing on these ropes? Now I might give that one a miss today. Yeah, I'm a Devon postie on my day off. And what do? Do I have a rest? Nah. Resting is for wimps. Let's carry on. So we've reached the top of the brow. It looks like this path goes on for quite some distance, much in the same style as this, between the trees up and down, and then eventually it will descend into Maidencombe, which I think we'll do in a separate video because there's quite a lot to see around there. So what I'm going to do is turn around the other way, and we're going to go and have a look at the Valley of the Rocks, because that is really more interesting. It's very, very special, and it's amazing to think that here we are, maybe 2 miles from Torquay town centre, and it's so peaceful here. I saw some dog walkers, that was it, nobody else, and it's just absolutely beautiful. You've got beach down there, you've got woodland, you've got peace, quiet, the birds. Who comes here? Not many people, but we're here, and I hope you're enjoying this trip with us today. And this path is part of the network that they call the John Musgrave Heritage Trail. You see a lot of that in this part of Devon, and I should have researched properly to tell you what the history of that is, but I didn't. But it's all there on the internet. But you do see a lot of the John Musgrave trails around here and across Dartmoor. Anyway, we're now coming back into the Valley of the Rocks. Now, the Valley of the Rocks, if you think of that in Devon, a lot of people will think of the Valley of the Rocks, the famous one up there near Linton and Lynmouth on the north coast of Devon, which is absolutely stunning. But this is Torbay's very own version of the Valley of the Rocks, and it's actually quite gorgeous. So let's have a wander through and I'll show you. So that's where we came down earlier, and I don't think the GoPro really gives a true impression of the gradients here. It's quite steep, but we're going to head this way through the valley, see if we can find some of those famous rocks. I could almost imagine Jurassic Park being filmed here in these deep valleys and the wooded hills. Wouldn't surprise me if a Tyrannosaurus Rex decided to leap out of one of the bushes and chomp my head off. Hopefully that won't happen though, because we've got some more video to do yet. So we're into a very deep valley here, and if you look upwards you can see just how high those cliffs are. They look as if they should be used for climbing. I don't know if they are, although they're very sandstony, so might not be safe, I suppose. You'd stick your bit of metal or whatever you do, I'm not a climber, into the side of the rock to climb it, and all of a sudden it would come out. You know, very deep valley, and you can see another one of the old rocks here up on the right hand side. You can almost make faces out of them, can't you? Yeah, I can see an eye there and a mouth. Almost looks like a bird's head, actually. Anyway, let's carry on over here, see what we can find. Yeah, there's definitely a face there, isn't there? I'm sure a local would tell me what it is. But yeah, definitely a face. That's where we've just come from. Look at this big rock, probably fell down off the cliff thousands of years ago, and it'll be there for eternity now. And if you fancy climbing up there, some very tempting little caves. When I was a kid I would have definitely been up there in those caves. Am I going to do it today? Maybe not. So here we are, already back at the car park. Maybe I should have continued on that coast path a bit further. I don't know about you, but I don't really feel ready to go home yet. So should we see if we can find a little bit of a bonus end to this video? What should we do? Come on, let's go and find out. So it's a few minutes later, but where are we? Yeah, it really is just a few minutes later. I've had a change of outfit, change of hat, hope you noticed. Well, I had a word with my makeup girl and she's just reattached a bit of the old stuff to make it look good for the camera. But yeah, it's literally 10 minutes after I last spoke to you, my time. And where are we? Well, I've just driven a little bit further into Torbay and we're going to go to another cove. This one isn't so much of a secret, but at this time of year, should be quiet and should be very pretty. Let's go and have a look. And by the way, this area is lovely. It's called Stoodley Meadow and it's just off Ilsham Road in Torquay. Just behind us is the world famous Kent's Cavern, which is definitely worth a visit if you're in this neck of the woods. And this is a big area of open space which is lovely. People bring the dogs here, just come for picnics in the summer and all that. And just at the end of here there is a slope down to our second cove of the day. It's a long walk down, which means of course it's going to be a long climb back up, but you know, I'll do it for you. Come on, let's go. Walk down here in the summer and there's a stream of people accompanied by kids and pushchairs and dogs struggling back up this hill. But today, am I going to have it all to myself? Well, probably not, but it's still going to be very pretty. There's a very nice cafe down the bottom here as well. You know, sometimes Torbay gets a bad press, and you know, every town has its problems. You know, there's always some areas of every town in the UK that isn't quite so nice as the nicer parts, but that's just normal, isn't it? But I think Torbay is a really, really beautiful area, and sometimes, you know, it's worth just getting away from where everybody else goes, away from the harbour and away from the main beaches, and coming and finding some of the out of the way places. And okay, if you haven't got a car, it's not so easy, but I guess probably 80% of the people who come to this area do come by car nowadays. And it's worth getting out and about and seeing some of the little hidden coves, because there are some little gems around Torbay, and this is another one of them coming up now. Well, you know, the way it's looking, I might just have it to myself. It'll be the first time ever. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ansteys Cove. I love it here. Now, this is a lovely walk that we'll do another time on this video. Lovely circular walk. So at the moment we are here at Ansteys Cove, and you can do a beautiful walk all around Hope's Nose back towards Torquay. This is the main part of Torquay here. There's the Torquay United football ground, and it's a beautiful walk. Many different walks around here, but anyway, today we're just here, and once again, welcome to Ansteys Cove. And if you come here in the summer, and probably any time after Easter, there's sunbeds along here, there's tables where you can sit down and have a coffee or even some lunch, and it's always very popular. Nobody here today at all. And how lucky are we to live in an area where you can have a nice sunny day like this. Okay, it's windy, but it's beautiful blue sky now, and there's nobody here. I feel so privileged, to be honest. And you know, I mentioned a few minutes ago when we were at Watcombe Beach about the cliff falls, and about there's quite regularly sandstone cliff falling. Well, the same happened here. This is Redgate Beach. This is one of two beaches down here, and there's a lovely beach there. The tide's in at the moment, so you can't really see the beach, but it's a lovely sandy beach. But they had a big cliff fall there a few years ago, and it's now closed to the public. Despite that, however, come here on any summer's day and the beach is fairly busy. People find a way. You can scramble down the hillside at the back of it, and at low tide you can even climb down here and walk across the beach, which you're not supposed to, but people still do. So just look at the shape of the rocks at the end of the point there. I was thinking it looks like some sort of alien landscape. I think it's actually the remains of an old quarry on the end of the cliffs, but the way they've left it with a sticky up bit, it looks like something from a different planet, doesn't it? And this is Ansteys Cove, and at low tide there's a beach down here. Let's have a wander across the other end to see if the cafe is open. I think I know the answer to that already though. Look at the mighty sea crashing in against the rocks. I think I might miss out on having a paddle today, what do you think? Yeah. So if you come here in the summer, there's normally quite a lot of tables along here, and they belong to this place. This is the Ansteys Cove Cafe. Just opens in the season. It'll probably be open from Easter. They do lovely lunches there. You can come and have a coffee, hot chocolate, you can have sandwiches, chocolates. They do a lovely lunch. I'm trying to think what we have here on a regular basis, like nachos, that sort of stuff. Very, very nice. Obviously they're closed at the moment because there's nobody here, but I think Easter holidays coming up, they'll be open again. And you can sit out here, spend hours here if you want. People come just to read the newspaper or read a book, or to make YouTube videos. And a lot of people take boats and kayaks down here. I think they do kayak high from here as well. Here's the steps down to the beach. There is a bit of a sandy beach down here at low tide. The tide is still very high at the moment. And that's where you can sit and have your lunch. Look out at the alien rocks. And we can actually see those rocks from our house in Teignmouth, strangely. Anyway, so there you go. I think we've come to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed our trip to Devon's secret beach, Devon's lost beach down at Watcombe, and then we paid a visit to Ansteys Cove, out of season, a place that's busy in the summer, and today there's just you and me here. It's nice, isn't it? And it's sunny as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you've not yet subscribed, that would be great if you could do that, because it really does help the channel. But otherwise, thumbs up would be nice. Any comments, feel free to leave them. You know, rude or otherwise, that's absolutely fine. I can take it. And I'll see you again very soon on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.